And tonight I hope to share with you some of the memory of what our parents have done for us to bring up this sense of appreciation of our parents' love. We all know that before we were born, we were in our mother's womb for about 9 months. And even the Buddha says that our mother carried us in the womb as a heavy burden and with much anxiety for our well-being. Even before we were born, our mother was already worried for us in the sense of she would worry that she does not take the wrong food that would be harmful for the baby. She would be worried that she does not overstrain herself so that the baby is not born, and in other ways. And then when we are in our mother's womb, all the food that our mother took that should have gone into her own body went into our body, because when the baby is a fetus, it's like a tumor in your body, cancerous tumor. Whatever food you take, the tumor will absorb, and the tumor becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and grow. So in the same way, as a fetus, as a baby in the womb, whatever our mother took, food and the blood, everything went into us as a baby. And then later, after 9 months, the mother will give birth to the baby. And this is a very painful experience, in case some of you do not know. Many years ago, when one of my sisters gave birth to her first baby, and I went to the hospital with her husband, and then I was outside the delivery room. And when my sister gave birth, I could hear her screaming her head off in pain. Then later only I understood, childbirth is so painful. Sometimes we have a bowel movement. You want to shit, and the shit is having trouble coming out. And we have what we call stomach ache. The shit is not very big. But when it's trying to come out, you have you feel so great pain. Sometimes it's when it's difficult to come out. But you think about the baby. When the baby is about to be born, it's about 3.5 kilograms. 3.5 kilograms thing trying to come out of your womb is a terrible thing. Imagine if you had a shit, half a kilogram trying to come out. That would be terrible pain. But 3.5 kilograms is really terrible. So, especially the first birth, of a woman is a very, very painful experience. And that was what our mother experienced when we were born. And then after we were born, we gave our parents sleepless nights. Every night, crying as a baby. Babies tend to cry at night when they are hungry, when they wet their bed, when they have a stomach ache. So that was how much problem we gave our parents when we were a little baby. Then after that, we still gave them a lot of trouble by dirtying our nappies, our linen, or dirtying our trousers, and sometimes even shitting on the floor. And our mother especially had to mop up and clean us whenever we dirty ourselves. And then when we became sick, they also were sick with worry for us. I don't know about you, but when I was young, I used to get sick very often. And I remember whenever I get sick, my mother will be worried over me, give her sleepless nights. Sometimes when I was a young baby and I couldn't sleep at night and I cried, I remember my mother will carry me on her back and walk around the room, trying to get me to sleep. And then also when I was young, because I became sick many times, quite often, she had to spend a lot of money on me. And probably many of you also was like that. When we are young, we tend to get sick quite often. And it is a very heavy financial burden on our parents. Sometimes, like in my parents' case, they had to bring up 8 children, and I was the youngest. And they had just enough money to survive, just to manage. And sometimes when we get sick more often than we should, then it places a great strain on them.